In a country like ours, millions of people have to live under extreme pressures caused by struggling to meet daily needs. Some people crumble under pressure, while others become diamonds as a result of the weight. These people, who are able to come out polished and beautiful, regardless of whatever circumstance they face, are Naija diamonds. My name is Moabudu, the creator and the executive producer. We at Inspire Africa, with the support of our sponsors Diamond Bank, have decided to celebrate Nigeria's 50th anniversary by telling you the stories of some of these diamonds. In this episode, you will watch 6 of their stories. I hope you'll enjoy them.
In whatever situation, no matter the burden, we'll always be there for you. Through our dedication to transparency and reliability, you can rely on us every step of the way. That's our promise. Diamond Bank. When no one seems to care. When no one seems to understand. There's someone who cares. That's Diamond Bank. Through our dedication to professionalism and innovation, you can rely on us every step of the way. That's our promise. Diamond Bank.
I raise this word that the cry of the poor will never let the rich sleep. They cannot sleep because we always cry. My name is Constance Felicia Audi Martins, the National Coordinator to SOSED Charity Organization. SOSED means Society for the Safety of the Insane and Destitute. While I was having my children, I was into nursing. So after some time, I felt I want to study more. So I left for Lagos State University, where I went to study law at LASU on Badagry Express Road. I was there studying law until I got to my 300 level when I now had inspiration for the destitutes on the streets. Honestly, when the inspiration came, I was like, this cannot be God. Because I have never seen people working with this kind of people before. Rather, I see people who ask God's calling, doing church program, praying for people, praying for them to get their visa. So my own calling, coming to be picking up lunatics, mentally challenged off the street, no matter the kind of issues they have. I saw that it wasn't God. By the time God confirmed himself, that he's the one calling me, telling my husband, but he couldn't understand.
All of a sudden, she told me she wants to take care of the insane. And before that, I'll be attending school. She's doing law in a university.
And while I was studying, I was equally working as a general manager with Farm Services Limited. I had to defer my course. I had to resign my job. My boss then, Mr. Denuga, could not believe me resigning because I really used to be a good staff over there.
We were quarreling, hoping that she will change. She's still sick in taking care of this.
To the extent that my son slapped me, that I was bringing disgrace to the family, to the extent that they all fought and kicked against it until I was thrown out of the house for 8 good months. And even from the society itself, all my friends ran away, my colleagues ran away. They were like, don't mention her, don't mind her. If she's normal, she wouldn't go for that. She's not abnormal now.
When my mom started this job, then I went for holidays at my grandfather's place. I came back, everybody on the streets were like, your mother have gone crazy. Some of my aunties that lives on our street, they called me especially. They were like, don't go close to her. She might infect you, you know. I became confused, and when she came back home, I saw she was looking lean. She wasn't herself.
Honestly, we went into the streets thinking we're looking for only the mentally challenged persons on the street. But when we got to the street, we found out that we have more than mentally challenged, and that was how we joined the destitute. For instance, when the HIV issue started, some people were laid out from their families to the street. They had nowhere to stay, nobody to accommodate them. Relations had heard of their problems and could not accommodate them. They also are also found on the streets. Some people are from some communities that they have offended their community, the land, and maybe they slept with their father's wife, they slept with their sister, and the community now say, this is, it's evil, and they try to judge him and lay him out of the village. And at the end of the day, they end up on the street.
First and foremost, let me just introduce to you how we usually go outside to pick these people. We have a team, a social welfare that goes out with our team. We pick these people here. As my national coordinator has always said, we clean them up, take them for checkups to be able to know their mental status and balance, so that we can be able to know where we can be able to address them in their own way and in our own understanding.
And we also share the word of God so much in this place. With the world and their drugs, they are being changed every day. And when the person is okay now, we say, this one is okay, we thank God. Oh yeah, just try her in the workshop. You put her in the workshop with so many different acquisitions in the shop. You see the area she's doing well. That's the area she's going to, be established to.
As a whole, there are a lot of challenges. Number one is fund. That is the major challenge.
There's no fund for the school fees, and fund to run the day-to-day activities, of course. In this place, for a home of 250-something, we need a day-to-day affairs money to run it. Then our hospital bills. Most time there's no drugs in the hospital. We have to go out to pick, to beg and pay our bills.
And another challenge is this very rented apartment. You can see it's so compacted. The volume here have overwhelmed the place.
I have a lot of success stories today. One, those that were abandoned on the street that are employed as staff of SOSET today.
Since I was brought back from the street, from the Yaba Baptist Church, that I've been rehabilitated. I've been given duties like housekeeping, washing the floor, sweeping, helping in the kitchen, and now in the admin section, assisting, filing.
I'm a good missionary. I'm an evangelist at a mama society. Believe me, that's really what I think I am doing here.
Two, many that have been reconciled back to their families.
A total number we have been able to reconcile is 170 from 10 years ago till now.
Thirdly, my husband, the man that chased me out and hates my vision, who has joined me today. At least before he goes to his own business, he will first beat their music for them in the morning. They'll be dancing. Just 2 days ago, I was watching him from upstairs, beating music for them to do their fellowship, and he was sweating. I was like, God, this is just you. Even those my children, who were not interested then, they are only interested now because they saw the pressure of work on me and they felt they don't want to lose me, and God touched their hearts. Today they are happy.
Seeing these people get well, you saw them when they came in from the streets. They were brought in here. Gradually they get better, becoming useful. There is joy in it, and there is no greater joy than that. So, though there are challenges in the job, like sometimes they have to fight you. Like this morning, this is one of his car I got this morning.
Even when you are wearing something, they will tear the dress and say you are wearing their own dress and the husband bought for them after dressing up to go out. So I'm used to a lot of odds,
I was once married with children and financially handicapped. So the man sent me away. I have triplets, and then something was wrong with me. I don't know how I went about with them. They told me that I threw one life in the sea and the public rescue one. and I stabbed one to death where I was sitting.
This work has really humbled my life because I found out those who are better than I am, they are on the streets, sick, they cannot help themselves. Those who has degrees more than I have.
I had a course for medicine, it's biochemistry, a paramedical course. I had a degree there too, both in Nigeria.
I studied in Great Britain. I'm an artist by profession. I studied music, drama, and beauty therapy at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in Great Britain.
They have mental problems. I have to come and help them, arrange them back. It humbles everybody that comes into SOSAID, because that shows you that life is not permanent for you. It takes the grace of God for you to maintain anything you think you are or you have.
I'm very grateful. I thank God for SOSAID.
Our plan for SOSAID Nigeria, we are promising them to eradicate all the destitutes from the streets. And that is the more reason why we're asking for Nigerian people's support so that we can achieve and yield them better food.
Oh, yeah, I believe in yourself, believe in yourself. It doesn't matter what you are today, believe in yourself. You can make it, hey, you will make it. Show your hands up in the air, wave like you don't care. You will be who you will want to be. Just keep an eye.
My name is Joseph Utemi Raphael. I'm fondly called Joe Ralph because that's what they call me. I'm from Ososo in Ekoko, the local government area of Edo State. I did some of my education in my place and partly in Benin. And actually what brought me to Abuja, where I am today, is because I came to a university. I started Magic Pro in this environment when I gained admission into the university.
When he got admission into the university, he came into my house, and then the dream and his aspiration that he has about having a studio and then affecting generation and their lives started in my parlor.
It actually started Magic Pro Multimedia in his dining room.
I met Giraffe in the church. He is my music director.
I met Giraffe way back 2008. 2008.
I was born into a family of Mr. Joseph Ature Adirojaye, like in Nigeria. Wachuku, that is his name. A family that is known for entertainment because my father read music and history in his days, and throughout his career, he taught music in school. So I think I grew up seeing him having a cultural dance troupe. All my life I've been in music. So while I was with him, I've learned to play all sorts of traditional percussion or percussive instruments.
As he's small, he go use some hand to play music. Anything, he go take play music up and down, play music, he play jota, play everything, sing, dance everywhere.
Hey, I got it going on. Yeah, lyrics is strong. Now, who makes the criteria? Ain't nobody better than me in Nigeria. We storm your area, dropping bombs on your head.
Magic Pro Multimedia come into existence because of the passion I have for the youth in my generation. You see, I discovered that a lot of talent out there, especially in the street, where there are many people who, though creative, but they're abandoned, either by their loved ones or because of circumstances. One thing or the other must have pushed them to the street.
Formerly, I used to be one of the guys on the street at home, loves things like fighting. Then I used to sell marijuana on the streets.
Before I did chase girl enough, I did find trouble for streets. Especially for girls who say they carry bag one pass. I'll send my boys, because I get boys, they go snag the bag home. In it will this our boys go take survive. Man, our frustration make us they do that level, sha. You know, see for Nigeria like this, work no day and then boys have to survive.
But presently now, I'm off the game.
As we call me Bros J na Giraffe. So some things we can do for us now in You know, saying a God fearing, and they preach to us, say, some artists who make a know with this kind of life, then they just go down.
He has really impacted my life in so many ways. He's always there to tell me that go on with life. There's something good in you that will surely affect people's life one day.
He taught me how to be confident in myself and go to the stage, because actually I'm a stammerer. But he actually worked on me and made sure that whenever I speak, I try as much to be fluent.
He actually made me to believe that, look, you can be who you want to be and still do all your singing also.
By the grace of God, where I am today, he has a major contribution to that. But without him, who knows? Maybe I would have still been in the streets.
There was even a situation of a guy who has been stubborn, according to the father. You know, he comes home late, he drinks, he smokes, hangs out with bad guys, and he doesn't talk at home. The parents were scared of him because they didn't really know who their child was. So when I met him, the father had to trace the guy because the guy was always saying, I'm in the studio, I'm in the studio. So the father traced him to the studio one day. I was like, is it the studio my son has been coming? All this while I say yes. And when we got talking, the man now understood that, okay, the guy is in safe hands. He will always say, please, so make sure my child goes to church always. And the man has been very grateful because so far the boy got serious with his academics, his grade improved, and he discovered that he was no longer hanging out with boys, no longer smoking like he used to.
Becky Diamond.
Angel White, man, the rude boys on the street.
Spirit. Call me Street Father.
The Inspired. Pastor Nigis.
And they call me Don't For Life.
Yeah, they call me Street Commander because I do a lot of street shows. And in the studio, they call me the Beat Killer.
I was on the street moving one day. Then I saw a poster on the wall titled Freestyle Street Battle.
This is a show that is exclusively organized for the street and is performed in the street. And it's also judged by the street. So wherever the street adjudge a winner, that is the person we'll take to the studio for that particular edition. And we'll do a promo track for the person.
I was the winner, the first winner of the street battle. So I was taken to the studio and a track was made for me.
Bro, on this one again, welcoming everybody to the FSB, the real place your kids telling now who you be. Show the rude boys how you kill the beat.
He's still very loyal and obedient in the family, and the type of music that I used to sing. It brings joy to my mind because I know music is not bad. Even in the Bible, music is recommended because one who makes melody is happy in his mind.
The major challenge has been finances because most of the time we have to borrow money to do our shows. When you go out there to seek sponsorship, we've gone to so many places to seek sponsorship. We are always turned down. The government of the day can do meaningfully, they can impact our youth if they can encourage entertainment in almost every facet of our lives.
He's not selfish. He's someone that is liberal. He believes in helping people.
He will make it.
God will just keep blessing him for me. That's my prayer for him. Apart from me, he has helped some other people to achieve their dreams.
We plenty now when people from the street. So, and they will love him. May God create space for him for heaven so that we can have more studio in there.
So my major plan is to get Freestyle Street Battle to every nook and cranny from every street, and we get a place where we can do a national tour. These boys that we get from the street, we take them to a national tour, national level, everywhere around the state where they will be known. I think with that, by the time we go around some few places, their lifestyle, their mentality, they interact with people, I think everything will change. The idea of this youth is a wasted generation, I don't believe in it. I believe if you give these people the right notion, the right orientation, they can make a great nation.
In whatever situation, no matter the burden, we'll always be there for you. Through our dedication to transparency and reliability, you can rely on us every step of the way. That's our promise. Diamond Bank.
Virtue Foundation is an NGO carved out to meet the demands of the girl child. We found out that their IQ level very low. They don't have the boldness to face people. They're easily intimidated. They're easily carried away by the unnecessary things of life.
Somebody needs to tell them it's not that.
We came together, we mapped out our plans and everything. That was where we came up with our vision, our mission, and we now started writing letters to sponsors. Finally, we found a favor in the sight of the last curator of National Museum here in Enugu. So she gave us one of the halls to use for free. So that was when we now hosted one of our major programs.
We talk about relationship violence. We talk about domestic violence. We talk about sex, practically. We talk about everything that relates with young girls.
When God made a woman, He made it with a purpose in His heart, and that was for her to be a helpmeet.
As the coordinator of Damsels of Virtue, the role I play actually is there are many, quite many. I'm into organizing. We have to edit whatever we want to do. We have to gather people and instruct them on how to, network with people, network with their fellow mates, the principals of different schools, parents, because if you don't get the parents at your side, you might not really get the students to attend.
I fell in love with the Damsels Foundation because of what I saw them do. Because these youths are now the ones mentoring their fellow youths.
I believe that every girl is a damsel. The word damsel, in my own understanding, means something that is of great value, something that is very beautiful.
Women naturally are vulnerable from when they are born till when they die. Now, this follows our makeup, genetically, physically, which also includes our morphology. We're the ones who are always on the receiving end,
both in the inside and outside, because what you are in the inside actually reflects on your outside.
We're the ones who get to lose our virginity with the proof. We're the ones who get to be heartbroken because of our emotional makeup. We're the ones who get to be hurt. We're the ones who get to be dumped, dissed, beaten violently.
So I said, I must do everything I know I can do to make Damsels of Virtue stand and be and do and act and impact what they think they have for this generation.
That is what Damsels of Virtue Foundation is all about.
So far, we've actually organized so many seminars, so many, but to approximately like 20 since we started, and we actually have existing relationships with 7 schools. We don't really have money. We're actually struggling to run this thing, but because we believe that the lives of these girls, they're actually changing, because it's tangible, we are seeing it. So that's why we had not given up. So that's why we go ahead and we go at the extra mile to see that the lives of these girls are changed at a tender age, because if you don't get them now, you've lost them forever.
We have come to the age where all these our children have left us parents and mothers. We have bought video films for them. They're into watching movies. We put different kind of films for them, and they're now using all those people as their models. They now see even what white men wear in shows, and they now wear it to church. They wear it to school. They wear it to the market. They don't even know the difference. So they need a sense of direction.
The teachings that they gave to us impacted my life so much, such as basic self-esteem test, unleashing your potentials and overcoming your weakness, and building a positive relationship and the MDG goal.
Goal setting has made me also to see myself as to be a lawyer by the year 2015.
I believe it is more effective when we work together as a team. There's something about synergy when everybody joins hands to do something.
I joined the team because of things that I felt I could solve.
We've had numerous success stories, but one of them is Okechukwu Njoku. she's my neighbor. So I see her every day and I see somebody in her. I encouraged her. I invited her to one of our seminars, and that was when we talked about identity, knowing who you are.
I've learned how to talk in public, how to comport myself in public, how to speak out, how to teach people things. And I found out that I was lazy before, but now I pick up things, I work, I make my environment to look clean and good and support everyone around me that want to achieve a great goal.
For the way she handled microphone and every other, I was surprised, even the father. And I held her kudos to honor and all the group and her friend. I don't know her name.
I'm happy that this year I finished writing my first book, and the name is My Dream Come True.
Without the organization, she will feel shy. She will not come out and show us her talent.
I believe in this one-on-one thing. That was what affected me. So I said there are people like me that if you say a general thing, they might not appear on the screen. But if you come to talk to them one-on-one, they will be able to tell you, relate to you, the issues they are passing through.
We, adults, telling them it's not because we are old school, they call us. Okay? That is because it's the principle of life that these youths are helping to imbibe in the lives of their fellow youths.
I want to be a dentist.
So that group need international recognition because as an NGO, they need to be supported.
In the next 2 to 3 years, we plan on owning a resource center, fully equipped, and a library, a fully equipped library. Change has to start with you before it has to go outside.
Extreme Dance Squad is a dance group that's spreading the gospel through well choreographed moves.
My names are Gaspar Bonare. My friends call me GP.
Uche Odunka.
Grace Ejue.
Wale Dokun. Arijo Kwemi. Boniface Jeffrey.
I'm the only female dancer among them.
I am the leader of the Extreme Dancer. Extreme is the highest, widest, utmost. We see ourselves as dancers taking gospel dance to the extreme level.
Our squad, it began when we were church dancers.
When Jesus came, the Bible says he gave us a new nature. Yes, sir.
So there are so many people in the church dance that they're not really committed. So I just had to call one of my friends. His name is GP.
I can't remember the dates, but I can remember Uche calling me on the phone and it's like, GP, where are you? I think you should come around so we can start some things together. So I came around and although I met Uche, Jeffrey, Swaji.
I called him and 2 other members. So we came up with the dance Extreme Squad.
They all shared a passion for dance and a passion for the gospel. And these 2 elements are what makes them different from the average dance group in Lagos.
The name came about the fact that we are really, really committed in everything we do. We do things to the extreme.
Dancing for them is more than just a pastime. It is part of who they are. That is why they are fully committed to what they do.
I got to know all the members of Extreme Dance Squad, and when they used to come around to me, so they always ask me one or two questions, and I supply them with a good answer, and they used to ask me as in the kind of place they will need in terms of practicing, doing their stuff, and I will always show them as in the best place for them to use so that they can have a well-relaxed moment as in do their stuff.
They often practice for long hours during the week, and balancing their lives as students and dancers is often difficult.
As a student, the sacrifices I make, I'm supposed to be attending like a lesson. I do study in the nights because I know nobody would stop me, so I have to come for rehearsals, and I'm the only girl in my family too, so like I have to cook and everything, but I still come for rehearsals.
I love dancing, so instead of going to work, because I know I need money to do something, so I decided to say, instead of going to work, let me rehearse with them instead of doing some other things, because I don't really want something where my work and rehearsal will crash together. So I don't want it, so I decided to stick to one.
We come to rehearsals every day. We devote our 4 hours time to come here. At times we sustain injuries, we have to treat ourselves. So we're really sacrificing a lot.
My guys are very committed. They're not yet students though, but they've been able to sacrifice the fact that they're supposed to be working, as in some of us are less privileged people, so we're supposed to like taking care of ourselves, getting a job, start working. But these guys, they've been able to like sacrifice that fact to get into dance fully.
Even when Uche's sister and parents had reservations about the group and tried to discourage him from dancing, he stubbornly kept on dancing.
I happen to be Uche's sister, elder sister. When he joined the dancing squad, it was crazy. Like, we were all worried. He goes out, dances a lot. We were all worried, we were afraid he wasn't doing nothing, just wasting time over nothing, really. So he panicked the whole family. We talked about it, we disagreed on it on so many occasions, but I mean, like, he's doing it well.
Not all of the members' families were skeptical. Encouragement for the group came from the brothers of 2 of the members, plus friends like Akiyemi Abimbola have always been enthusiastic supporters of Extreme Dance Squad.
We've been together for the past 3 years, and they're a very good friend, they're a very good dancer to me. So we're always going out for shows, anywhere they are going to, we go out, we do things together. I'm not a dancer, but I love to watch them, see them dancing.
The Extreme Dance Squad has really touched my life in, different ways, especially their slow move. When they go slow and, the thing touches you, your emotions start building. You want to feel like, wow, this is something, so amazing when I see them do those stuff.
As a leader of the group, God's Power, popularly known as GP, has to choreograph dance routines, and he finds inspiration everywhere he looks.
You get your inspiration from the trees, the way they move, so you can decide to go. My motivations are dancing. I love dancing very well. I love it with all my heart.
When I dance, I'm very, very happy. It is the best thing I can do.
Dance is not just a part of me. Dance is in my blood.
That has been part and parcel of me.
Extreme Dance Squad is a dance group that's spreading the gospel through well choreographed moves. While others may be into dance mainly for the fame and money, these young people are in it mainly because they want to share the gospel with everyone who watches them perform. Extreme Dance Squad is dance meets the Great Commission.
Seeing ourselves in the next 2, 3, 4 years, we should be able to get to the level of creating an academy, dance academy, where we can be able to raise young people like us to become dancers or try and inspire them.
Our group is going to grow. We are not only going to dance as 4 members, we dance as so many members.
In whatever situation, no matter the burden, we'll always be there for you. Through our dedication to transparency and reliability, you can rely on us every step of the way. That's our promise. Diamond Bank. When no one seems to care. When no one seems to understand. There's someone who cares. That's Diamond Bank. Through our dedication to professionalism and innovation, you can rely on us every step of the way. That's our promise. Diamond Bank.
My name is Jazul Ashir Umar from the Department of Adult Education and Community Development. I come from a family of Ashir Umar. Then we are 17 in number. Then I'm the 5th person who starting primary education, then going to secondary education, and then get admission into university. I'm the only person who has disabled.
Lokacin da aka haife shi, an haife shi lafiya lau. Sai daga baya Allah ya sauka masa da wannan larura. Haka sakir Allah ya mai da shi haka.
From a young age, he started supporting himself financially through shoemaking and photography. And with the money he makes from his work, he is able to send himself to school.
Every day I'm in the school, from Monday to Thursday. That Friday and Saturday, I don't have any lecture. That is, I'm sitting in my room and working. Someday I get 400, 500. Yeah, but now I'm due to school. Sometimes I'm not doing because I need to go to school on time. I didn't feel I'm disabled, because in disabled there is able. That is why this motivated me to further my education in order to help my families and my community at large.
Jazuli has been so inspirational. Owing to his state of health, he doesn't want to believe he's disabled. He always want to believe he's capable of doing things that people as normal as we are could always do.
After I finished my primary education, then I dropped out due to some circumstances.
To sakamakon haka kuma har ya riga daga firamaren da ya aje karatun, sakamakon babu wani benefit da zai dau nauyinsa ne yayi karatun.
Instead of begging, I decided to be educated. My brother is he is a businessman at this BUK, so I joined him so in order to become self-reliant.
Yana da interest ɗin yin karatun, a sakamakon kuma mu ba mu da hope ɗin da za mu iya taimaka masa har Allah ya sa ya samu wannan sana'ar da yake maintenance, ya biya registration, ya zana jam da kuɗinsa, komai wani responsibility da kansa ya ɗauka, ba wani wanda ya taimaka masa, Allah ne ya taimaka masa. Wannan sana'a ce ta taimaka masa.
Jazuli has never felt intimidated in any way. He always want to compete with a normal being. He believes his own disability is an advantage to himself, is an ability. And I always tell him, Jazuli, in your own dictionary, the word disability doesn't exist.
Active, he can do it whatever possible that a normal person can do. That is how Jazuli is.
From that business of my brother, I get some money and got and bought materials. So by then I started sewing the shoe. Then gradually now I'm making some shoes for supporting my education and my family.
Wannan ɗinkin takalmin da shi yake har ya tafi primary school. To yanzu kan keke da nisa yana university.
The head of Department of Adult Education at Bayero University, Kano, holds him in high esteem.
This is somebody who has made ends meet. He's been doing it with little or no support. And then he also has the singular, focus of wanting to even better that situation by coming to school.
He tried to find one job or the other to do so that he can sustain his life, to come to school and get the education as any other person has the right to get education.
If you become educated, you have your right and you have the ability to do anything you like without people stopping you if you know you are right.
Kuma ba mai biya masa ko sisi. Ina gama wannan gidan he's renting by himself. Ina iri da kansa.
He's been pushing for his own bills. When I mean bills, his academic bills. He has been surviving himself. He's got all the petty business he does, like the shoe making, the shoe polishing, even done photography.
From money I get from shoe making and photograph is the one that I use for my education, for my registration, and also day-to-day activities.
He's getting on well with members of his class, because I noticed that. Of course, the house society, of course, is another matter, and that is where the challenge really lies.
Ndezuli has been a person of reputable character whom I will not forget, because all our stay here in the school, he has been helping me in our education pursuits, and myself, I have been helping him also.
So Jazuli is very kind person, very active, since that he look like a disabled person. He's not a disabled person.
Other people who are having such a disability like him stay at home not to come to school because they feel since they are disabled, that is all the end of their lives. But to him, that is not.
My girlfriend is booked. After I finish my education, I will apply for masters, inshallah, if God willing.
I really want to, to challenge some other people that they are in the same tree with them, so that they can take up their challenge and go to school.
I will use that opportunity I get to educate my community and invest my business. So in order to all my community will benefit from what I get from education.
And I believe he's going to stand out among his peers and he's going to leave a perfect legacy.
If I give a prognosis, I will say this boy is going to succeed. I don't see this boy failing. cannot. He has a lot of antecedents.
I have planned to get married.
Well, I wish him a very successful life.
For him to be with that fighting spirit or that struggling mindset, he deserves to be a Naija Diamond.
Sandra Chikan lost her parents when she was very young. When the pain of being an orphan became unbearable, she tried to commit suicide.
When I was about 12 years old, I had had enough of the treatment that I got in that house, and I went to the back of the house and I wanted to kill myself. I took a piece of zinc and I started cutting my wrist.
Just at the moment when she was about to kill herself, a song filtered into her consciousness.
Every little teardrop you cry, every little heartache inside, he understands.
It was music coming from her neighbor's house. She says that song was a sign from God, letting her know that he wanted to use her life for something significant.
And from that day on, I determined in my heart that I would be somebody, I would become the best that God had planned for me. And so my uncle put me through school, and I went through university. I read international relations in ABU Zaria. I graduated in 1990.
Thus, Sandra decided to face her life with purpose. As Sandra progressed through life, her deep love for children was displayed wherever she had the chance.
My desire and my main focus was to deal with support the less privileged kids.
She shared her desire to help orphans with a friend. This friend led Sandra to a village in Plateau State where there were many vulnerable and orphaned children. Sandra took up the task of helping to care for those children.
We're going to Dorua Soho village in Barikin Ladi local government in Plateau State, and this is where we have our orphans and vulnerable children. Some of them are HIV positive.
Most of their parents were affected. That is why it brought about all these so many orphans in this village.
Well, every month there's a budget for them that provides for their food and school fees. And then within the month, we collect clothes and we collect books, material that they would need, and then we take it to the village. Now, because of what we're doing also in town, we can't go every single week. So we go like twice in a month. But there's a reverend there who is the caregiver at the home.
If there is any problem with the children, I will let her know. If there is any message from her to the children, she now asks me to explain it. So I have been a link between the orphans and Auntie Sandra.
Kingdom Kids Club is a play center and creche for privileged children. There are all types of fun activities that the children engage in, and the money Sandra makes from Kingdom Kids Club is channeled back to meeting the needs of the orphans.
I have loved working here. I have loved being a part of what is going on here because it's so dynamic.
I basically come here every morning and then we pray with the kids, we sing with them, you take care of them, and then sometimes I work in the daycare and sometimes I just work out in the center with the main kids.
Sandra is motivated by her need to make sure that these orphans do not pass through the same difficulties that she passed through in life.
I said, I am an orphan. I've experienced what they're experiencing. I know what it feels like to be without a father, without a mother. And some of these kids are even in a worse situation than I was. I was privileged to be in a good home. There is hope. Somebody gave me hope.
The first time I met her, I didn't realize that she had been an orphan herself. I just noticed that she had an incredible heart for children and needy children as well.
The Bible says that God said that I'm the father to the orphans, and He is not the one to come down and supply all the needs of those orphans. He normally uses other people to assist.
She's truly a good example, but to take out of her heart and out of her experience and to pour it in the very unique and special way she's doing with the kids at the Kingdom Kids Club, it's truly awesome.
He has met so many orphans who were hopeless. She's now giving them hope, because some of them who they haven't have that in mind that one day they will be in school, but today they are in school.
Once in a while, he, along with the other orphans, get a chance to leave their village and are taken to the Kingdom Kids Club, where for a few hours they get to experience activities other children take for granted.
It's been a challenge just getting people to support what we do, especially the orphans. But on the other hand, we've had wonderful people who have reached out and done so well, for what we're doing and contributed to what we're doing. So that's also a pointer to the fact that there are people who have a heart for these children, and I'm glad about it.
I see Sandra as a mother of many with a big, big heart. I know that at the end of the day, she's going to sit back for so much that she's given. I know she's going to sit back and she's going to be fulfilled, because there's nothing like watching children grow. And as you're watching them grow every day, they're getting more and more developed, more matured. And one day they will sit down and affect society.
For me, I thought that I know that there is no success until you are able to impact other people.
Like one thing I know that she believes, we have gems among these children. They're very special children here. We don't know what they'll be tomorrow, but we do know that a lot of them are going to influence society, affect society, and leave the world a better place.
Though finances are a big challenge, Sandra plans to turn the Kingdom Kids Club into a full orphanage and school for these children,
where they can come in and learn the arts, theater, music, drama, where they can have fun, a big fun center, and then have a home for orphans. And the steps that we're taking towards that this year is that we want to move the first batch of orphans to the center, so we can put them in regular schools and then getting them to socialize with other kids.
She hopes that by giving these children quality education and comfortable accommodation, they will one day grow up to become confident adults.
So my plan is just be an encouragement, be a role model for orphans and for the less privileged, and let them know that if I can do it, they can do it.
If any of the stories that you have seen today have touched you, and if you would therefore like to make a difference in the lives of any of our diamonds, in cash or kind, please visit www.naijadiamonds.com for direct access to all the Naija Diamonds on the show today. Thank you so much for watching.